The time is 3 minutes past 6. Good evening. I am Jennifer Ogogo. This is the News Express. The headlines. Academic Staff Union of Universities wants the federal government to sign and implement their renegotiated 2009 agreement. Suspected Fulani militias kill many and burn houses in fresh southern Kaduna attack. Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps destroys 8 illegal modular refinery in Abia. Court holds EFCC from going after Okorocha. Telecom Union gives MTN 14-day ultimatum to address workers' welfare. Macron calls for calm to resolve Ukraine crisis. And Ragnick explains why he benched Ronaldo in the game against Burnley. Remember, you can always log on to www.ozesaradio.com to listen to the news live in any part of the world. The Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, has called on the federal government to sign and implement their renegotiated 2009 agreement as a way to end the incessant strikes that have affected the system of higher education in Nigeria. The chairperson, Imo State University chapter of the union, Comrade Augustine Ejiogu, made a call while briefing newsmen in Owerri. According to him, the 2009 agreement reached between the union and the federal government was renegotiated in 2021. He, however, regretted that the government had not signed the renegotiated agreement. Comrade Ejiogu pointed out their demands as contained in the agreement to include non-release of the needs assessment funds for the revitalization of public universities. I'll say that again. Comrade Ejiogu pointed out the demands as contained in the agreement include non-release of the needs assessment funds for the revitalization of public universities, payment of earned academic allowance EAA, and the integrated personnel and payroll and the university transparency and accountability solution. Comrade Ejiogu, who maintained that ASU members had reached the limits of their patience as they were being pushed into embarking on total and indefinite strike only a few months after one was suspended. He stated that they would no longer tolerate more MOUs or agreements until the existing ones are fully implemented. The IMSU ASU chairperson, who vowed that the union will embark on another indefinite strike if the federal government stick on not implementing their agreement. He appealed to all well-meaning Nigerians, traditional rulers, religious leaders, civil society organizations, and other stakeholders to prevail on the government to do the needful. There is yet another attack on southern Kaduna where people were murdered and houses set ablaze. It was gathered that about 4 persons have been confirmed killed by suspected Fulani militias who attacked Sabon Kaura village in Atiap Chiefdom, Zangon Kataf local government area of Kaduna State on Tuesday night. A source told newsmen that virtually all the houses in the village were completely burned down by the attackers who stormed the community numbering over 100. According to him, there were few military personnel around who could not contain the effects of the attackers, who came in large numbers as they unleashed terror to the community without challenge. Meanwhile, the Atiap Development Association today raised an alarm over the killing, burning of their communities by suspected Fulani militia. A statement made available to newsmen in Kaduna by Mr. Samuel Achie, president of the ADA, noted that Fulani militias plan to wipe out the entire chiefdom calling on the federal government to urgently send security operatives to protect them. Moving on, reports say Abia Command of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps has destroyed 8 illegal modular refineries in the oil-producing Okwa West local government area of Abia State. The state commandant of the Corps, Mr. Ayinla Olowo, told newsmen in his office in Umuahia that the feat was achieved due to the sustained efforts by the command to rid the state of illegal dealings in petroleum resources. In petroleum products, I should say. It was gathered that this comes barely 2 weeks after the command destroyed 10 of similar facilities in the same area. Mr. Olowo confirmed that the illegal refineries were destroyed by operatives of the anti-vandal unit of the command, called Operation Sting, who has undertaken the responsibility to stamp out illegal petroleum products dealings in Abia State. The operatives disconnected all the pipes with which they siphoned products from the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation's pipelines and destroyed their logistics. Mr. Olowo said they will continue to smoke out the activities of illegal oil merchants in the state while describing the activities as sabotage, which negates the prosperity of the nation. Our Port Harcourt Federal High Court has asked the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to stop further action against former Governor of Imo State and Senator representing Oluzon until the determination of the case before it. Recall that Okorocha, through his legal counsel Ola Onekbekun San, had approached the Federal High Court presided over by Justice Stephen Pam, seeking the enforcement of some orders earlier made in Okorocha's favor in a case between him and EFCC. Olanipekun said that the court faulted the investigation process adopted by EFCC in the fraud case against Rochas Okorocha and confirmed that the court had ordered EFCC to stop the prosecution forthwith. To the business scene, Telecommunications Union, under the aegis of the Private Telecommunications and Communications Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, have issued a 14-day ultimatum to MTN Nigeria Telecommunications PLC to address certain issues burdening on workers' welfare or face an industrial action. The association threatened to down tools and subsequently disrupt telecommunications service nationwide if the telco failed to accept and act on its demands before the expiration of the 2-week ultimatum. In a statement signed by its president, Opeyemi Tomori, and secretary, Okonu Abdullahi, advised MTN to respect and adhere to international best practices as encapsulated in the International Labour Organization Conventions 87 and 98. Recall that sometimes in 2019, a similar ultimatum was issued, but for the timely intervention of the Honorable Minister of Labour and Productivity, the planned action did not take place. The association claims that the telco has over time remained adamant to the cry and plight of its workers, saying that all they need now is collective bargaining agreement signed. I'll say that again. He said that all they need now is collective bargaining agreement signed off by both parties to foster industrial harmony and relationship. From the foreign scene, French President Emmanuel Macron has become the first leader of a major Western power to meet Vladimir Putin since Russia massed troops near Ukraine. Macron said on Tuesday that he believes steps Macron said on Tuesday that he believes steps can be taken to de-escalate the crisis and called on all sides to stay calm. Macron, who in contrast to the US and British leaders, has played down the likelihood that Russia may soon invade its neighbor, shuttled from Moscow to Kyiv on Tuesday in a bid to mediate a settlement and avoid war. The French president boasts his talks with Putin has helped to de-escalate the tension and confirmed that Vladimir Putin has made some concessions which will further resolve the crisis. Macron called for calm and firm dialogue between concerned countries as they diplomatically settle the issue. Shared determination is the only way allowing us to create peace, the only way to create a viable political solution, Macron told a joint news conference with Zelensky. Meanwhile, Moscow has continued to deny plans to invade Ukraine, but is seen piling troops and hardware near Ukrainian border for unsuspected reasons. And lastly, from the exciting world of sports, Manchester United interim boss Ralph Rangnick has said Cristiano Ronaldo was dropped for their clash with Burnley on Tuesday because the game will require a lot of sprinting and chasing balls. Rangnick opted to start with Edinson Cavani at Turf Moor as United hoped to maintain their fourth position on the log. Rangnick claims he expected much of a fast and paced football pattern from Burnley and does not want to risk starting Ronaldo, who due to his age cannot run and fight much. Rangnick said Edinson Cavani best fits into category of players for such matches, which made him to start him ahead of Ronaldo. Ronaldo came in the 65th minute, but cannot help his side get maximum point. Paul Pogba gave the Red Devils the lead before Jay Rodriguez leveled for the hosts, which leaves Man United out of top 4 position in the Premier League. And that ends the news. On behalf of the editor, Chinedu Ezenago, and the production team, I am Jennifer Ogogo. Do enjoy the rest of your evening.